Hello everyone, this is Paresh Srivastav from Vwin. Today I'm going to share with you the legal English vocabulary. The words which are mostly used in the courtroom, they are related to crime, and you will find these words quite often in the newspapers. After going through this video, you will be in a better position to understand them, and also you can use these words in your speaking and writing quite effectively. This is divided in two parts. This video is for the part 1, and after this I'll be showing another video for part 2. Keep watching. Well, the first word is victim. Very commonly used word, and it means sufferer, someone who incurs some kind of injury or some kind of losses. That person is known as victim. So victim is sufferer or injured party. You can see the sentence also here. The victims of a fraudulent scheme are planning to move to court. Next one is culprit. Culprit is noun and it has two meanings. Someone who is charged with an offense or crime. It means there's a case against that person for a particular offense or crime. Or someone who is guilty of an offense or fault, also known as perpetrator, wrongdoer, or offender. So perpetrator means culprit or offender. When I say culprit, it means the second meaning of it, a person guilty of an offense or fault. And offender is basically the same, someone who violates the law, someone who causes resentment, or a culprit. So culprit, second meaning of culprit means guilty of an offense or fault. Perpetrator, offender, they are the similar kind of words used in the courtroom. You can see the example here. The offenders will be booked under the law. Now, offend, which is actually the verb, is having two meanings. One is not a crime, for example, to cause displeasure, anger, or resentment, which is actually not a crime, but it is definitely an act of offending. Means we were offended by his tasteless jokes, means doing something which causes some kind of anger or resentment among the people, although it is not a crime. Second one is actually violating a rule or law, which is a crime. He offended against the curfew. Now let's look at the next one. Next one is suit. Suit is actually having three meanings. First one, in context of court, is actually a legal action or a court case. Second is a matched set of clothes. We know very well, so we wear suits in winter. Meet the requirement. Third is meet the requirement, which is actually a verb. For example, for the first one, suit, they brought suit against the landlord. Second one is this suit looks nice on you. Now I'm talking about the matched set of clothes. Third one, this room suits me, means this room meets my requirement. Countersuit is basically a lawsuit brought against someone who has already sued you, someone who has filed a case against you. You bring uh, a countersuit against him, means you are bringing the suit to counter his case against you. That suit is known as countersuit. Sue. Sue is actually verb, and many times you might have heard the people saying, I'm going to sue you. So to initiate or pursue legal proceedings against someone or to bring civil action against means basically to file a case against someone. For example, he sued them for damages, means he initiated legal proceedings against them for the damages he incurred. Next one is allege. Allege is a verb and it means to assert without proof, to blame or to claim or to accuse someone. For example, they allege that he stole the jewelry. Now there's no proof, but they blame that he did that. So here allege is used. In Hindi, it is known as iljam. Allegation is actually noun, which means iljam. Alaj means iljam lagana, and allegedly is adverb. So, for example, the allegation raised by them proved to be wrong later on, right? Allegedly, they have committed this crime. Means as people say that they have committed this crime. So alleged. Next one is accusation. Accusation is similar to allegation. It is actually the synonym of allegation, and it is actually an act of blaming or the state of being blamed. Allegation, and the verb of accusation is accuse. Accuse means to blame someone, and accused is someone against whom the charges have been made or someone who has been blamed. That person is known as accused. Contradict. When you contradict something, you actually say that particular thing is untrue, or you speak against that, you say something opposite to that particular thing. For example, the meaning is to assert to be untrue, often by saying the opposite. The other synonyms are contravene, traverse. So, for example, the study contradicts the notion that merely keeping busy keeps people healthy. So, if you look at this statement, the statement says merely keeping busy keeps people healthy. This is contradicted by this study, means this study is saying something opposite to this statement, or this study is saying that this particular statement is untrue. Then contradiction is actually a noun, and it means an inconsistency or discrepancy. When your statement is full of contradiction, it means your statement is not at all consistent. Okay, so for example, um, his new statement is in contradiction to his previous statement. Means in his new statement, he has said something which is opposite to what he said in his earlier statement. We must criticize the practices that are in contradiction to human rights. I mean, the practices which are not consistent with human rights must be criticized. Contradictory is adjective. For example, his brother's statement is contradictory to his statement. So it means that his brother's statement contradicts his statement. Plea. Plea is basically the answer by the defendant to a formal criminal charge. So, if someone has been charged with some kind of crime and he gives his explanation or answer for against those charges, so then this answer is known as plea, the defendant answer to a formal criminal charge. For example, he entered a plea of not guilty. What is petition? Petition is a kind of formal request. So when you submit or when you file a petition, it means that you are requesting something from the court. So, for example, he filed a petition for clemency. So it means the person is actually requesting for clemency. Clemency means mercy. So petition is used as noun also, and petition is used as verb also. So when I say you should petition the court, it means that you should file a petition in the court. So when I say file a petition in the court, petition is noun. When I say you should petition the court, it means here the petition is acting as verb. Petitioner is someone who is actually filing the petition. Now writ is nothing but court's order issued commanding the party to whom it is addressed to perform or cease performing a specified act. Means when court issues an order, this order says a particular party of the court to do something or to stop doing something, then this order is known as writ. So basically, a court's written order is actually a writ. A court's written order. Then litigate. Litigate means to get involved in some kind of legal proceeding. So when someone litigates, it means the person has either initiated a case or the person has become defendant in that case. So basically, to prosecute or defend. Prosecute means someone who initiates or conducts a court case, while a defendant is someone who is charged with certain kind of crime or certain kind of fault. So to prosecute or defend a lawsuit or legal action means litigate. To pursue a legal case, again, it means litigate, means to basically get involved in legal proceeding as a party. Prosecute means to initiate or conduct a court case or any legal action against someone. For example, he prosecuted the builder for not handing over his flat on time. So in this case, this person has initiated a case against the builder. And in this case, the builder is actually a defendant. We'll see later on also. In this case, a person against whom an action or claim is brought in a court. So in the previous example, the builder was defendant because the case was initiated against him. Plaintiff. Plaintiff is basically a complainant or a claimant or a person who brings a civil action in a court of law against defendant. So if I take the previous example again, he prosecuted builder for not handing over the flat in time. So in this case, builder is defendant and plaintiff or complainant or claimant is he because he initiated this case. So plaintiff, complainant, or claimant. Any of them can be used for the person who initiates the case. Arbitration. Arbitration is a process of sorting out the issues or differences between the two parties so that they can make a compromise. This process is known as arbitration. Okay. Generally, in this case, both the parties choose a person or a group of persons, and this person or group of persons act as mediator, and he tries to settle down the issues between the two parties. So this process is known as arbitration. Arbitrator is actually the one or a group of persons who is trying to sort out the issue. Someone who is acting as mediator, that person is known as, or group of person is known as arbitrator or arbitrators. Then arbitrate is nothing but the process of doing this action. It means the process of settling down the differences. That is known as arbitrate. Now, verdict. Verdict is basically the findings of a jury on the issues of fact submitted to it, right? So based on the facts submitted to the jury comes to a judgment, comes to a decision known as judgment or verdict. Adjudicate. Adjudicate is verb and it means to make a decision in a legal case or proceeding. So for example, a judge adjudicating on land claims. For example, the judge is going to adjudicate on this case tomorrow. It means that judge is going to make a decision on this case tomorrow. Sentence. Sentence is used both as noun and verb, and we all know what is sentence in other sense. But when I talk in terms of courtroom, the sentence is the judgment formally pronounced upon a person convicted in a criminal proceeding, especially the decision as to what punishment is to be imposed. Means judgment which talks about the punishment of the offender. His sentence was for 10 years jail, means the punishment from the court was for 10 years jail. Convict. Convict is basically, as a verb, it means to find or prove someone guilty of an offense or crime, especially by the verdict of the court. That is very important. See, the culprit, offender, and perpetrator means the guilty. right? Or someone who is charged in case of culprit. Another meaning is someone who has been charged with some kind of crime. But when we say convict, convict means a process with which someone has proven guilty in the court itself. Convict as a noun means someone whose crime has been proven in the court. For example, the jury convicted the defendant of murder. It means jury finally decided or gave a verdict that the defendant is actually a murderer.